I'd like to tell you a story of a second grader named Nate. At the beginning of the school year, Nate's teacher decided that she'd let each student feed the gerbil for 1 week during the school year. Not just the smart kids, not just the good kids, all the kids in the class. And that was good for Nate because Nate wasn't one of the smart kids and he wasn't one of the good kids either. Well, it came Nate's time to feed the gerbils and he was excited, and on Monday he fed the gerbils, and the teacher noticed that he hadn't also watered the gerbil, and so on Tuesday she taught him that you need to give the gerbil food as well as water. Well, Nate learned that skill and he fed and watered the gerbil every day for the rest of the week. And at the end of the week, the teacher noticed that the gerbil was running around in the cage and pretty healthy and happy, and she said, "Class, Nate fed our gerbil this week. And look at the gerbil, how healthy and happy it is. Let's all give Nate a round of applause for keeping our gerbil healthy and happy." The class clapped for Nate and cheered for Nate, and Nate felt pretty good after that. He liked that class and he liked his teacher and he felt pretty good about school right then. And do you think Nate did his homework that weekend when his teacher assigned him reading homework? You bet he did. That story is an example of what long-term studies have shown us about protective factors. Protective factors increase the probability of healthy behaviors and success among young people. Now, some of these protective factors are things that young people are born with, like a resilient temperament. Some are skills for social interaction or for self-control that children can learn. And other protective factors are things that adults in the community can do in their day-to-day interactions to promote protection among young people. We've organized the protective factors into a strategy for action that we call the social development strategy. The social development strategy is as simple as 5 fingers on one hand. If you want to increase healthy behaviors among young people, the first thing you need to do is provide opportunities. Developmentally appropriate opportunities for active involvement. Nate got to feed the gerbil. When a mom picks up an infant, that's an opportunity for active involvement. When people ask the 8th graders in the middle school, "What equipment do you think we should put on the new playground?" that's an opportunity for involvement. The second element of the social development strategy is skills. Young people need the skills to be successful in the opportunities they have. Nate needed to learn the skill of watering the gerbil as well as feeding the gerbil. The third element of the social development strategy is recognition. Providing recognition to young people for improvement, for effort, and for achievement. In Nate's case, the teacher recognized him and the class recognized him with applause. Recognition is important because it leads to the fourth element of the social development strategy, which is bonding. A sense of emotional attachment and closeness to the people who've provided those opportunities, skills, and recognition. Nate felt better about his school, his class, his teacher as a result of opportunity, skills, and recognition. He felt more bonded. Bonding is important because it provides the motivation to live according to the fifth element of the social development strategy, which is healthy beliefs and clear standards for behavior. In Nate's classroom, because he felt bonded to his teacher and to his class, he followed the standard of doing his homework that weekend. Opportunities, skills, recognition build bonding. Bonding provides the motivation to live according to the standards offered by that group. Keep in mind that opportunities, skills, and recognition need to be provided in a way that recognizes individual children's differences and cultural differences. The social development strategy has been tested. It works. When teachers and parents during the elementary grades apply it to young people's lives, we find that years later they're more academically successful in school, they are doing better economically, and they have less heavy alcohol use, less violence, fewer of them have been pregnant as teenagers, and they have fewer mental health problems well into their 20s, years after they experienced the social development strategy. So how can you use the social development strategy to make positive changes for the kids in your community? Well, first, Use it in your daily interactions with young people, with your own children, with the children in your neighborhood, with the kids in your class, with the people who work for you. Second, teach other people in the community to use the social development strategy to provide opportunity, skills, and recognition. Teach your partner when you go home tonight the social development strategy, those 5 elements. If more people in your community provide opportunities, skills, and recognition for young people, more young people will feel bonded to your community and live according to its standards for behavior.